the concrete point was Rock's archive project when he actually invited me in that project, and that is the project that I've been involved in, and that is actually happening, and I'm very happy about it. And so the things I can talk about at the Institute is actually through that project, and that little contact I had with co-teaching when I was invited to observe, which was very inspiring as well. So the entrance point is obviously I've been in this field of writing, researching, archiving, historizations before, and what Rock proposed was actually a really beautiful idea, that we come together and share, and the things that for me is a part of my work already, do in a bigger scale and exchange and make more sense out of it. It was when I think the whole idea of institutes was proposed or inaugurated to Nomad Dance Academy. If you're asking me about my touch with Nomad Dance Academy, that lasts a couple, maybe a year longer, when I was sent into Kanjiža meeting instead of Alexandra Janeva, who was on maternity leave then. And I just landed in that project and am involved in different projects ever since. What produced this confusion? Well, it was obviously the new idea, the new scheme of work was in trying to be introduced and find out and constructed. And I don't remember clearly, but there were lots of people and lots of ideas going on, and the whole, if I remember well, the whole model, what to introduce and who is in and who is out and who is the observer, and how actually to value the projects and what is expected was very improvisational and poetic. It wasn't very clear, so is that a problem? I don't know, because I don't really follow the other projects. I don't know our other projects, how far did they go, what happened. For some I have some kind of info here and there, but except this co-teaching, I didn't actually, I'm not informed about the result. Okay, Nomad is a very complex and wide and long-term project, but every time when I, and I know what I know about it, I'm not informed in every aspect of it, luckily. But every time when actually some kind of exchange comes with this idea of region and other people, it's always actually inspirational, and it's never dull. It's sometimes when you come to symposium or somewhere, it's like people are talking, and it's like, but this actually always something gets out apart from that should come out, and that is. That's why I like giving time and being involved. It's never strictly professional, which I find inspirational. Well, for this co-festival meeting, my colleague whom I invited to be a part of Croatian team, Katja and I, we actually focused and developed the project for next year very concretely, with the focus that came out from this meeting, because we met in Bulgaria in advocacy in Bulgaria. We stayed a day or two after and had one meeting which was more preparational. But Slovenian team, Rok, Mina and myself, we exchange what we have. So maybe to go from there up to now, we actually start doing it and commit, I can say, and what I see in Ljubljana, Biljana and Slavče started very pragmatically working on the theme that we focused. So that is actually, I think this archiving and obviously the resources, the funds that came in, focused us that we start working on it. In that way, although this theme was in our crew in Croatia, has been going when we are working on 80s, and it's a very obvious theme, and it's nothing. It's kind of traditional approach, but it has to be done definitely, and it's very inspirational period for many in many ways. And in this way that we are actually focused now, we wouldn't be doing it without this. And hopefully it can be helpful to others, because there is lots of things going on in Croatia at the time. I would like to quote Biljana. What is important, you mentioned friendships, why is that professional? Yeah, it is very professional, obviously, and we are in most of projects, we are friends and colleagues, and it's always complicated. But I would like to quote Biljana, what she said in a film about Nomad that Aleksandra Janeva made, and that is that Nomad is this network that is actually uproot you from your, in a positive way, from your very small local community. And because we are working in small or even smaller communities, like Croatia is small, and you have Slovenia, which is even smaller, Macedonia, and this, in the fields that we are working, that is always so under this, and precarious, under blah, 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 that we are all connected in generations, in friends, lovers, everybody's like this after you pass 33 years of age. Then this type of collaboration that you are still in a community, but you are not so strangled with the context and with this really small amount of people. And with time, I feel that maybe it's me being more mature or being more tired or whatever, or losing energy, but I feel that this time is actually more and more severe, or people are more, how would they say, it's getting more, not dangerous, but maybe violent, you know, the whole atmosphere, because the resources are so scarce to work, there is more and more people, and so in a smaller community I feel that much, I can actually feel that people are really, if I don't get it, if you get something, I will not get it. And this kind of fights for audience, for resources, for studios, for any kind of visibility, for reason, are getting oštrije, severe in a way. So I always feel when I get in this wider context, it's easier in that way, that I can work on things without all this packaging that are ongoing. So it's kind of this positive, like refreshment always. I think what Nomad is still has is that we should create our alternatives. And are we, and it is a space where that is possible, and some other spaces are not. Some other spaces are very strict. This is the project, do it and sign the contract. So I think in this project and in this interview, it's always like what we do out of it. What we do out of it, that will happen. And that is always very important to have in mind. And like for this archive meeting, obviously, I like to have a strict what is expected of me. It never comes. Like, yeah, except it is going to be in formal and we are going to share. Yes, but what are we going to share? So with some, so obviously I produce what the only thing I can produce. You always do what you are, but that is that is the place I would like to keep my energy with Nomad projects in that way. Okay, let's keep it open and always try to leave this little amount of fantasy going on. And Nomad with its structures and fundings and how does it work, I'm not involved in that, but the reports, they somehow manage not to close it down. So is it an alternative? I feel it can be if I, in my part of the project, decided that I organize it and use it in that way. Otherwise, it will not happen. It is not something that is there. It is now. Simple as that. But it's not I don't see it as predetermined space, and that's why it is relevant for me. Particular project, it's very straightforward, because what is now happening is gathering the materials, and that is going to be available. I don't know whether through the blog, or now we are actually working on how to catalogization of material, because it's very actually complex when you gather a bunch of things that happened 20, 30 years ago. What do you do with it? What is relevant? What is irrelevant? But Katja and I in Croatia are planning several sessions to actually work and present the materials locally. That's what we've been doing already. Last year on platform, Marok was here and he was presenting his work. So that is again something that we have means and just to go to the public and show and talk about things, and in that way to gather more materials outside of Zagreb. And so yeah, I mean, this project, and at the end of the day, it is going to be some kind of publication that we started talking joint production of Maska, Kretanja, we'll see. So, because this is, as I said, very pragmatic project. It is research and it's not something very complicated to reach and to give back. And for other projects,